Yo, what's up, guys? Damnation here, and we're waiting to see if my YouTube is going to kick on. So I'm just give it 1 second, and we'll see if some sound starts coming through, and I have to mute. Bam! I did have to mute. Haha! Caught it right away though. Okay, so yeah, I'm here as always. Tonight we got Ross with us,
Good evening, everyone.
and we got Doomsday,
What's good?
also known as Travis. I think I call you equally by both names during the show. So
It's all good.
we got Cuttlefish.
Hello, everyone.
So what's up, everybody? Playing some battle parts?
Indeed.
Oh, yes, and trying to struggle to deal with all the new stuff that has been thrown at us.
Yeah. Yep. We'll get into that. I know we will. So let's get some screen sharing going. We didn't have a raid or anything, did we? A bounty. How'd everybody's bounty go? Just wrapping up.
Mine went really smooth. I just we had a show since I primarily did all my bounty points the first day, and I finished the event the same, just like that. So it went pretty smooth.
How many points did you end up getting total, Ross?
A 180, I think.
Right on.
I ended up with about 100,000, and that got me everything I needed. And what annoyed me most about this bounty is 2 people peeked me, and I only got 1 base hit. All bounty. I don't even know if my base works.
I know. I only got like 50 or 60K. I mean, that's really all I wanted. It got me the stuff that I actually wanted, so, and I honestly, I played Assassin's Creed more during bounty than I played battle parts. How about you, Travis?
I did pretty good. I think I did like 170 or something, and ended up getting like the lurker finally and both weapons, 3 heavy transformers. Let's see, the new turrets, and just some odd and end stuff like a couple scopes and whatnots. Just. But all in all, I went around hunting quite a bit of, looking for the damaged bases, which I know a lot of people were doing. But what I would do instead of just doing that all the time, because it just kind of get a little boring, I would find a base with, a guard fleet in it, and I'd go hit it, and I faced some lurkers and gluttonies and stuff, and the bicyclist saved my ass. So all in all, it was a good first run with that ship. Really enjoyed using it, and it was all right.
I think the main thing that kept me from participating more was the massive amounts of lag that were going on. When you're trying to hit a player base and like your fleets are just kind of stopping in the middle and spinning around in circles, sailing through their land. It's just like whatever, dude.
No, exactly. That's exactly what it was for me. Mine was the event was over the day one, not really by my choice, but because of lack of playability. I just decided that there's a point at which I don't submit to that kind of nonsense, and then that point had been reached. So that's why I was not playing.
And in '95, I was talking to the sector, and there was a lot of BPL and KAS and just a couple other big alliances, but they were all just kind of saying, like the lag was so bad that they were just going around and autoing, the lower bases, which I'm a 110, so I got hit like crazy, but I went back out and got just as many points too. So all in all, it wasn't bad, but we were forced to do that because of lag. Most of us would rather have been testing our fleets to the full potential, but you can't do that, when they're jumping halfway across the screen. So,
I mean, honestly, though, it's kind of almost gotten to the point where bounty is one of my favorite events because I almost always know that I'm going to get coin during bounty. Because I'm going to put in a ticket about the lag. And they're going to send me anywhere from 50 to 100 gold for bounty. So I'm like, sweet, bring on bounty, man.
Yeah, I didn't even try. My buddy called, and he's a fly fishing guide, and he's like, I'm taking the boat out. You want to go? And I was like, yep. So
I had a bunch of very low-level players in my alliance, thanks to the 10K free points and the points they just got for seeing in their base. They were able to walk away with the Breacher and the Arbalist, so
nice.
They're in the game.
Yeah, that's a good deal there. I mean,
so what are you guys thinking of the new turret?
It hurts if set up right. I've faced a couple, and I've beat a few, and then I got my ass kicked by a few. So if used correctly, it's pretty deadly. I mean, I didn't see no shockwaves, but it was getting enough damage that you could really see it coming down. So
yeah, I think it's going to change.
The lag was so bad. The lag was so bad. I don't even know if I would have even seen the shockwave if it had happened. So
the problem is you won't.
Anything like mine, you got so much stuff going on and right at a certain kill zone. You're like, okay, I saw their health go way down right there, but I'm not sure exactly what did it.
Yeah. They're pretty strong. I've actually moved them over just to see what they do, and they bring down the old health on a built normal breacher really fast. They're not a one shot type thing, like, because they don't. I didn't see a shockwave even in my tests on my base, but I really like the turret as far as meaning it's going to stop the attackers for sure. I would think coupled with a base guard of so you don't have all one type of damage. It would be you can't just leave your guard out, is what I'm saying, because then you could cover the damage types.
You probably won't see a shockwave, actually, because the heavy turret launcher prioritizes the highest health ship. So, and it will change halfway through the salvo. So if there's two ships, A and B, both at 100%, the first flechette will fly into target A, the second flechette will go into target B. And then it will go
back and forth.
Right, it will go back and forth, so you'll never get a shockwave. And you can't override it by putting priority target special on there. The turret overrides everything.
Yeah, that was a big question I knew that I had, and then apparently Saltwater said that the turret ability of targeting the highest level thing overrode everything else. So.
Oh, geez, I didn't catch that before, because I have priority targeting on there.
Yeah, well, and honestly, that was something I brought up in the thing. It's like, if you guys you keep saying you want to make the game easier for everybody to understand, well, maybe you should put shit like this in the fucking blueprint then. Wow.
So what this means when fighting this turret, if you send up one ship alone, it will take all of it, and you might get a shockwave on that ship alone. But if you send in a blob of ships, there will be no shockwaves, and they just have to eat the individual flechettes, which I do admit hurt quite a bit. But that's not a 6.6 million, nuclear blast either.
And my Poseidon Hurricane, it's XR heavy. It really is, and it actually stood up better than my breachers. But I just don't know if I'm going to put the time into refitting my breachers just to get around that. I'll probably just pinch what I can and spray and pray.
And move in a pack. That will do it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let me.
Can I ask one thing? What y'all think?
No, you can't. No. Go ahead.
So, which I know it targets the heaviest thing first, but if you could send a ship that had a drone in just to pull the first shot off, just as a decoy, that would save you just one shot anyway. I know it's probably not going to help in the long run, but then again, it might. So if there's a tier 7 ship that you got a haymaker on, it might be worth trying.
Yeah, that's assuming the other 19,000 things in the base don't kill it before it gets there anyway.
That's probably going to happen. So yeah, never mind.
Hey, you never know, though. All right, so let's talk about what's going on this week. This week we had the 9.10 update, which was this was the second time the defense update was supposed to be out, but it's once the game got pushed back 2 patches. I think we're looking at 9.12 at this point. So the big thing this week, the hull upgrades for the Eradicators and the Strikes. So yeah, they're for the basic cycle hull, not the flagship. They have the same upgrade kit time cost of PV hulls, except the PV hulls use uranium instead of titanium. And that statement is kind of misleading because to get through all 3 of the upgrades is the same amount of time in kits. But as you'll see, I believe it's in the next slide, the upgrades come in stages. You actually have 3 different levels of upgrades per each of them.
You underplay the word slightly. It totally confused the entire player base, and the entire player base, exploded with rage.
Yes,
it was so badly explained.
For sure, horrible.
So, Ross, do you want to go over the ones for the Eradicator first?
All right, the Eradicator upgrade, level 1. It's a 3% combat speed to all Eradicators in the fleet, including the flagship. So, pretty self-explanatory right there. And then level 2, you're going to get an additional armor slot. Now, when you look at that, that's really going to actually bring your damages back, your percentages. If you're putting the folded armor back on, it's going to bring your percentages back up to 98 to match. It will actually then again match your lead Eradicator. However, it will have more armor points in total. So it truly, in all, at that point, after you have armor, if you put the folded armor on it, it should be a better tank if you're doing a tank system driving than using the lead.
I guess the only thing about that though would be like the brutal though is still going to be kind of better in a way, because while it might not have as much armor, it's still going to be doing more damage. So if you're wanting to have just like the one guy running, I would still run with the brutal as opposed to a regular one, just because it's putting out more damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is putting out more damage. Then the level 3 point is where you pick up the 2% ballistic damage to all Eradicators in the fleet, and then 2% ballistic defense also to all the Eradicators in the fleet. Now, if you go through the campaigns we're going to discuss later, and we'll figure out where you can get to on these points. Now, on the Shrike upgrades, level 1 is the 10%.
Hang on, real quick before you go into that, I want to talk about something about the Eradicators just a little bit, and I want your guys' thoughts on this. Okay. So with like their whole thing about their problem with the defense system that we have right now is how we can get our defenses up into the 99.99999s and whatnot, right? Isn't everything they're doing here pretty much just compounding that problem by giving more ballistic defense by doing that upgrade and giving you an additional armor slot that you're probably going to add another resistance armor onto? Aren't they just kind of compounding what they're already saying is a problem?
Yes, but we already have the solution coming up, which is the defense rating upgrade thing. So if I can, I don't want to use the exploit word, but if I can get my defenses much higher for this whole raid and they change it to a defense rating after the raid, cool.
I'm just saying that it just seems like they're compounding what they're saying is a problem, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, they're doing it totally. It lasted, what, 2 weeks? before they, you know, boosted 98, 98. I think that it's just we're just right back where we, not exactly where we were, but we're heading right back down the path we didn't learn from.
What do you think, Travis?
Well, I think the change is coming so quick that it's, you know, the kind of the last Hail Mary. So it's just, it is what it is until it flip flops. But what I'm really curious of is what is the difference in the ratings going to be with 4 versus 5, you know, armors, like once it does change.
Yeah.
And will actually, like, the level 1 or the level 3 variant actually affect our defense rating?
Yeah.
So many questions.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And like, if everything is adding to my defense rating, that's now adding to my defense bonuses, like percentages. It's like, well, aren't I still going to want to use the same stuff? So you're still not adding any flexibility in my build anyway, because I still want the higher defense rating as possible. But anyway, that's a whole separate conversation. Anyway, go ahead, Ross. Go on to the Shrike one.
Okay, when we go into this Shrike, the level 1 it's a 10% combat speed when submerged to all Shrikes in the fleet, including the flagship. So it's a little bit of greater speed increase than the Eradicator, but that is while submerged. Level 2 is the additional armor slot, the same as the Eradicator. And the level 3 is 3% radioactive damage to all strikes in the fleet, and that's a little bit higher than the ballistic defense, but so it's damage. So all in all, I really like the Shrike upgrades over the Eradicator upgrades. I guess just looking at them on paper, they are what they are.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the key one is the second one on both of them, the extra armor slot. In my opinion, that's the key one.
I agree. You know, in the others, I just don't see that much of a change in the combat speeds, really. Well, at least in the Eradicator, I mean, with the 3%, and also with the damage or the defense at the 2%. I don't think that's the big thing at all in the Eradicators. It's definitely the armor.
So, and then on the next slide, we have, oops, hang on. Oh, yeah. So then here's when they break it down into telling you that, what each individual upgrade costs, since it's like in 3 different stages. So the first upgrade will be 1.1 days, and the second one will be 3.3 days, and the third one will be 6.6 days. And then your number of kits needed is 10, 30, and 60, respectively, for a total of 100 kits and for a total of 11 days per hull. Still not a big fan of the amount of time that these take. You know, 11 days per hull seems it's very excessive.
Yeah, I think 72 hours should be like it. I mean, 72 hours, 3 days. I mean, that's still 12 days, you know. So.
Well, anytime that they throw it at 1.1, the 3.3, and then you give you tokens at the same time, it's kind of like just a kick in the ass, because you have to, you know, you want to coin it or you speed it up or whatever, or you waste a token. In my opinion, I wish they just didn't do the odd days or match the tokens to the amount.
Yeah. I'm just reading chat here a little bit, and like I'm reading what Cuttlefish said about CM Chris has said the targets will be tuned to a non-upgraded fleet. I would just say, Cuttle, if you've been playing this game for 7 years and you believe that, I got quite a bit of swampland I would love to sell you.
Hey man, I am just reporting what I've discovered off of Discord. I got a screenshot of that. So right. I mean, believe it if you want to.
I'm just saying.
I understand.
No, I think what he's doing, he's reporting it so we can hold him accountable, and it doesn't.
Remember, everybody.
Not you. I'm talking about holding the team accountable. I'm just saying we got proof now.
But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. But anyway, but it was nice when you log in and you see that you got 40 Eradicator upgrade kits and 5 Eradicator upgrade tokens and 40 Shrike kits and 5 Shrike upgrade tokens. I mean, that was kind of nice, So all my Eradicators are now done to their level 1, and I'm sure that's probably as far as I will go with them.
And you have 1 day of upgrade, Shrike or Eradicator upgrade token left, right?
Correct.
That's important. We'll get back to that.
It's important if you plan on doing any of the rest of it, but I don't. So,
all right.
All right. So let's talk about the events that we got going on. Cuddle, you can talk about the No Survivors campaign.
Sweet. I actually have done this all the way through a mastery run of 1. So, you need to bring in your Eradicators. You cannot bring in your Shrikes to help with, so it's only Eradicators all the time. Prize Pack 1, which is 3 stages. The first target in there is a 100, and they move up from there. So that's the difficulty. If you succeed, you'll get a upgrade kit times 12 and 1 day of Eradicator tokens. Prize Pack 2, that's 5 targets. And once again, it starts off with the 100. You get 12 kits again and another upgrade kit. Prize Pack 3, which is now 7 targets, and you have an hour to do it, which is that was very difficult. I walked away with 11.5 hours damage, but I've heard people get down lower than that. You'll get upgrade kit times 24 and 2 1-day upgrade hull upgrade tokens. And the mastery. Sorry, go ahead.
Unless I'm mistaken, is there a cap of 10 on the upgrade tokens that you can hold?
Right.
Yes.
So you have to use one or use them.
I actually have a funny story about that. My breacher upgrade failed to upgrade. So I put in a ticket, and what they did is they refunded me my res, my titanium, and they sent me tokens so I could do the upgrade again. However, the limit is 10, so they sent me 10 tokens for an 11-day upgrade.
Well, there you go.
I just sighed. I'll tell you in 12 hours whether or not it finishes. Any rate, Mastery Level 3 is a copy of Prize Pack 3. It's 7 stages, 1 hour. You get 24 kits and 2 upgrade tokens on that.
So yeah, so that means out of the TLC you get 10, right?
Yes, you get 10 tokens out of this.
You get 10 tokens total. So that's why you have to make sure that you spend that 1 upgrade Eradicator token that you had left from the free ones before you finish out the DLC.
And 132 kits. Also important.
Which is silly.
Yes, I totally agree. But fortunately, with the kits they gave us there, that brings us up to 172 kits. That means you can upgrade all of your Eradicators from level 1 to level 2. And you have enough tokens to do that all the way across. I think except the third one. Sorry, the fourth one. So you can get most of them done just through raw kits, tokens they've given us, if you can complete this campaign all the way through.
Yeah, I've done. That's what I'm on, and I've done it. And they give you enough. And I'm on the. They don't give you enough tokens to like speed it all up because I'm on the last ship of 4, so I'm on my 4th Eradicator, getting it up to level 2. The 3 have armor on already.
Damn.
So it does give you quite a few tokens and kits.
Right, because upgrade level 1 is 1.1 days. So right. That minus a 1-day token, that's 2.4 hours. Prize Pack 2 is 3.3 3.3 days, right?
Right.
So that's about like 4 or 5 hours per actual of just hard time you have to spend.
Right.
And if we're just talking about hours, that's nothing.
So yeah, I don't know. It's there if you want to do it. I know, like I said, I have no intentions on doing this. I'm going to do the upgrades that they gave me the free shit to do, and that's it. I am not spending any shipyard time on any of this crap. Move right along. Bird of Prey campaign. Travis, you want to do this one?
Yeah. All right. So this one is going to end Wednesday, the 13th at 12 p.m. kicks time. It's the strike version. So you know you pretty much need the flag and the regular ones, I would say, to make it all the way through for sure. Prospect 1, you're going to get 12 upgrade kits and a 1-day strike upgrade token times 1. Prospect 2, you're going to get another 12 kits and another upgrade token, which is, you know, the 5 run. Then you start into your 7 encounters, which you'll get 24 kits, and then a 1-day strike hull upgrade token times 2, and you can do that 3 times as well. Oh, that's Prospect 3, my bad. And then the Mastery run is the same. So, but
Yeah,
you can
so
do it 2 times.
basically the exact same thing as the other one, only this is strike stuff instead of eradicated stuff.
Yeah, and you know they're hull specific, so you can't take your Eradicator into Bird of Prey, and you can't take your Strike into No Survivor. So it's kind of stings a little bit for, you know, people who would almost make it but not be able to. So, like, you know, all I have right now is my the flag, and I had the 4 blanks, and one of them has like 4 launchers, and everything else just has 1 launcher, no specials, no armor. But the flag is done, so I was able to make it through Prospect 1 with 2 hours and 20 minutes of damage. But I wouldn't be able to make it through the next one unless I coin, and you know I don't have any coin on there now, and I don't have no plan to put it on there for this campaign.
So I guess it did in the end make a difference which fleet you chose, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of needed, in the end, you needed both. So, I mean, to an extent, and it maybe even more so the further we progress with whatever they're trying to do here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It would have been nice if you could have taken eradicators or strike. It would have been nice if you could have taken either siege fleet and either thing, because
Yeah.
you know, like, there's going to be a lot of people who, yes, they want to have the strike upgrade stuff, but maybe the only thing they have built at this point is like their flag or their flag in like 1 boat, which isn't going to be enough to do with DLC. So yeah, it definitely made a difference on what you chose to build, whether you were able to get the stuff that you do want to get, you know, for down the road.
For sure.
It's much for it not mattering which fleet you chose to build. But it is what it is. Then we got the Siege Spin campaign, Ross.
All right. This one started Wednesday on the 6th and also ends the 13th, which is a Wednesday. And it's take your Razor Tail and your Bat Ray fleets in for a chance to win a Tier 8 Siege content. Beat a run and earn a chest. Now, I'm just not a fan of these chests, but we have chests again. In Prize Pack 1, you get the Hall's chest. It's containing a Strike or Eradicator.
No, wait. You're telling me you don't like taking 6 hours of damage to earn like 60,000 titanium or 60,000 uranium? You don't like that?
I hate it. I hate it.
Okay. Just double checking there.
Yeah, it's just drives me batty. But okay, so it is what it is. And then Prize Pack 2. Hey, we have a weapons chest. It's containing the Devastator cannon or the Insulator Raptor launcher. 12,000 VXP Tier C siege tokens times 2. And then in Prize Pack number 3, you get the special chest containing the welded barrel system or insulated charge capacitor. 12,000 VXP, also token. In the mastery run, you can do the mastery run 3 times. You can pick up 12,000 VXP tokens, and you can pick up the 1-day siege build tokens times 2. So you can get six tokens right there. That's quite a few, actually.
So has anybody gotten like in depth into this campaign at all yet? Is it any better than last time, or exactly the same, worse?
I haven't even tried it. I just I remember it was hurt pretty bad last time, and I didn't even go to mastery then. So I don't think, I don't know.
The build tokens are buried far too deep, and the damage is way too high.
Yeah,
I'm straight up skipping this because I already have a campaign which is giving me 11 hours of damage.
You're right. I mean, this is not the first time out, so it's kind of, for me, it's kind of like, you fooled me once, you fooled me twice. Aha! I'm not doing this again.
Yeah, I want to say I think this damage is roughly the same as what it was last time. Now, I know me personally, last time, all I had to do was like repair, like probably at the end of encounter 5, I think it was. I would just repair my flag back to full, and then I could finish off the rest of the TLC with only having to coin my flag back to full. And for getting a 2 days worth of build tokens, for what that would probably be like, 5 coins maybe if you use the grease monkey, like 2 or 3. To me, that was worth it.
No.
But then, at the end of that mastery run, you're gonna have like a 12-hour downtime of repair. So you gotta like get it and get on it quickly, otherwise you're gonna run out of time.
Yeah, I just seemed like my bat rays seemed like they took more damage than they did in the raid targets for some reason. I don't know if I was just rusty or I pretty much ran the same thing. So I mean, in the same pattern, but I don't know. Maybe I was just off that day.
Well, maybe it's because they didn't adjust them to us not having half repair.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. So, I mean, it's just going to be up to each individual to, figure out where your price point is, whether, getting that 2 days worth of build tokens is worth however much coin it's going to cost you to get it. So that's going to be up to each individual person. But if it's going to cost you more than what the tokens themselves are going to cost, well, then just don't do it. But like I said, for me, I was doing it for, like 5 coins. I think it was 3 with the grease monkey. And to me, that was worth it. But, then I'd have 12 hours of downtime after that for my whole fleet to repair, like I said. So just give it a whirl, see what you got. I'm actually looking just as forward, actually, honestly, for once to the VXP tokens, because I am the structure build token, or the ship build tokens, just because my strikes didn't all get up to legendary, so I can still use the VXP tokens.
And if by some chance you still are missing one of the hulls, it is in the first prize pack, so
Yeah.
you may as well pick it up, even if you never plan to build it, so they can't lock it behind you in the raid.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. That's good fun.
Bug fixes originally, apparently they didn't have any. But then later, there was a report of when hull upgrades are finishing their time but not showing as completed. They were investigating. If you have that issue, please provide CS with the start and end time of your hull upgrades to confirm logs so they can patch you up. And then hull upgrades have been hot fixed and players should have no further trouble finishing the upgrades. Additionally, certain class hull-specific tokens should be usable on upgraded hulls again. So there you go. So actually, you were kind of lucky by putting in a ticket and getting all that extra stuff, Cuddle, because then apparently they just hot fixed it and it shows up for everybody now. So good on you.
The glories of being first.
All right, this is back to the whole upgrading stuff. why Ross puts a big gap in between the rest of the whole upgrading stuff and the TLCs. I'm not sure, but
I don't know.
Don't worry about it. You'll get better over time, buddy. So some frequently asked questions: do upgrades impact every hull you built, or just one hull at a time? The answer is just one hull at a time, but bear in mind that some buffs impact all ships in the fleet, such as the Eradicator level 1, giving the buff to all Eradicators in the fleet for the speed just by upgrading one hull, and then upgrade another hull and it's stacked. So, that 3% buff can turn into 12% if you upgrade all 4 of your hulls. Let's see. Will the speed buffs make my normal hulls go faster than my flagship? That was a big concern after the original fiasco that we had in the Foundry and retrofits, where your regular boats would get the buff but not your flags, and your shit would be all fucked up then. But no, this since the buffs are applied to all Eradicators in the fleet, including the flag, or strikes including the flag, you're good. Why not use the Foundry or retrofits? This is a funny one. Here you go, Cuddle. You can read this one since you're such a big fan of the upgrade feature.
Okay. The point of this feature is to provide the players with a choice to tie up their shipyard conquest yard, additional upfront waiting time, in order to receive the payoffs of increased repair efficiency, longer gameplay sessions. If we use the Foundry or retrofit system, they would not provide us such a choice element. It would just be a buff you could undertake parallel to building something else, which would mean we would have to account for the upgrades and tuning.
So,
to be fair, I am a fan of some of these upgrades. I don't think anyone should do these level 3 upgrades. But level 1 and 2, I do think people can, because we have a ton of tokens for it.
Yeah.
I mean, and it just could be me, because I can freely admit I'm pretty down on the game. I don't think that's a big surprise or shock to anybody. I'm extremely down on the game and the direction that it's going right now. But it seems to me this is just like a way of ensuring, okay, even if you're not going to build the second fleet, we're going to make you spend just as much time building the first fleet as if you would have built the second fleet.
It truly is. It's not that it's. I want these upgrades to go away. They're not the direction I want to see. And truly, it's like it's trying to fix a poor designed ship in the first place, and it's just prolonging it. I want to get these done and over, and I want shorter build times. I don't want to lengthen. This is just one way of lengthening build times for me. It's not done until this is done, in my opinion, because they can say it's not going to be tuned to whatever, but I'll believe it when I see it. Until it's all, I'm going to go with the past. The past is they tuned to the top fleet there is. So I'm going to say they're required until I see that they're not.
I'll say if it just needs to be reduced. I mean, they're trying to either put us in a position to where you choose one fleet and you're solely dedicated to it, because like I thought my Eradicators were done, and I was gladly finally working on the strikes, but then this came out, so now I'm having to upgrade kind of both of them to level 1 to start out, just to see where I'm going to go from there. But what I'm doing is I'm using a 1-day token, then I still got 2 hours and 23 minutes to wait. And last night I didn't feel like waiting, so I went ahead and went to sleep. So, it ended up being like, 10 hours or whatever. And so it's just the time of the upgrade is wrong.
Exactly.
And I know that, a lot of people said, well, put it in the Foundry or retrofits. Well, in that case, we're asking, they would look at the old numbers and the old times, and they'd be like, okay, 28 days. Here's another. If they go R5, you got 5 days. If they go R15, that's another 15 days. So in the long run, we'd be way more time, but we'd be able to be doing something on the side. But in the time that it takes to get everything upgraded, we're moving so fast with the 3-month cycle. I just wish they'd have gave us something, just a fucking dry dock. I'm gonna say it.
Well, I don't know if you want me to start spending 100 and what is it, like 145 days or something to build my fleet, then I better not be taking any fucking damage after spending 155 days to build that fucker. You know, and I know that's not going to be the case. I know I'm going to spend 155 days to build my fleet, get it totally upgraded, and I'm still going to be taking damage. And that just, to me, that's not right.
Can I put on a tinfoil hat for a minute?
Absolutely.
Sure, go ahead.
I think the Basilisk was designed with an upgrade kit in mind.
Oh, I said that from the beginning.
Okay, good. All right, I guess.
I mean,
I'm just wearing a common tinfoil hat.
And see, and that's the problem with the upgrade kits, because now I foresee every single hull that they come out with from this point forward being released intentionally underpowered in the beginning. That way, you have to go through and do upgrades on it.
Right, and that sucks.
The Basilisk definitely needs an upgrade.
I mean, looking at it solely from a business perspective, if you don't do that, you're a fucking idiot. You know, because you're going to want to, from a business perspective, you're going to want to release it underpowered initially to have to force people to do these upgrades. And if they think people are too stupid to see that, then they are not giving people enough credit, which they never have in the past anyway. They think we're all a bunch of fools.
And also totally misreading their player base, which is worse in my opinion.
You know, in game design, there's a thing, it's risk versus reward and punishment versus payout. So like, the thing is that we're really heavy on the punishment side to try to force some people to not wait, to coin. And if it, I'm not going to buy 11 days worth of stuff. I mean, get it down there and I'll think about it. Don't give me 11 days. I'm not even going to think about it. I know some people will, but I mean, just imagine if there was more people that, that it was like, all right, say it was 72 hours, and they really, really wanted it. They may do it then, more people, because it would be cheaper, or they may wait to the last 24, the last 12, the last 10, the last 2, the last 1. Every little bit would contribute to their revenue, but at the same time, we're having to. We get what we can with our tokens, and then, which really helps. And, I appreciate them putting those in there. They could really be just dicking us all the way around and not giving us anything. But at the same time, there's still a lot of time there. I mean, a freaking lot of time.
A lot of time.
It just seems like this new team is all the stuff that we fought so hard as players to gain over like the past 3 years. This new team has totally undone within 2 months of being there.
Yeah.
Is honestly how I feel. But whatever. They've made it abundantly clear they don't give a fuck what I think. So
I think they've made some good additions, but implementation across the board could have been better, or everything, like I said, everything reduced, and then we would have felt more value in the return of our time or our money. It's just when I remember, the older age, you get a ship or you unlock the newest ship and the special and weapon and you get it ready. And man, you could kick ass, the next raid and stuff or whatever. And then now it's just like a constant like build up to just barely scrape by. And that's not rewarding. I mean, that's just too much punishment.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of at a point anymore where I'm just like biding my time and waiting till this team who was brought in to quote unquote fix the game is gone, and then I can hope that the next team that comes in actually does fix the game.
Because
It's kind of where I'm at this point.
But see, I really like a lot of the mechanics and the new stuff that they've added and the new features. It's just the
Well, like, give me some examples.
well, I really like the basilisk. I've enjoyed the bat ray and the way the auras and stuff work with the skirmish stuff. They were fun to drive. I've enjoyed some of the targets, but at the same time, you get too much time and everything, too much time to build stuff, too much time to have to repair because the damage was too damn high. It's too damn much of something all the time.
Right, and I would tend to agree with you on what I call the little things, like the way the fleets handle and the way the targets are and everything. Yes, I like those. What I'm more talking about is the big general direction that they're taking the game.
Oh yeah.
Cost,
How
time,
about
and revamping the entire game that nobody asked for. We just wanted you to fix it under the existing system that it was.
how about this? I like how they've rolled out the tier 8 PvP stuff. The fact that we got a breacher on November 20th and we didn't get any other Conqueror hull for 3 months. That was long enough for me to build all 5 of my breachers. Well, 4. One's almost done. The 5th one's almost done. And alter my base to defend against it. This has been a really... I've had the time to do this without coin. It's been very nice. This is not the same that it was during the tier 7 times when we were getting a Conqueror hull every couple of weeks. When we were getting the Revenant, the Witch Doctor, the Ifrit, and all those. We were truly in flavor of the month land there. Here, I've had time to change my base, to build up my breachers the way I like it. It's been pretty nice. So
yeah, and I can appreciate that, but I also think, how we've always talked about that pendulum that swings as far as base hitting and base defense and base hitting and base defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think the pendulum has swung firmly to defense at this point. It's been there for a while.
Actually, I think it's in the wall on the defense side, but yes. But good news. Got that Howler coming.
It's actually in nonsense land. I turned to PvE because the PvP is so silly, and it's so not fun. Truly, I've been a PvP player. This game team here turned me into a PvE only player for sure, and that's a guarantee. Yeah, they did it, not me. I love PvE. I don't even like I'm hanging in there, playing the PvE in hopes that the game changes. That's the truth.
Well, just real quick, because we've gotten way off the topic of what we're talking about here. This is turning more into a no quarter than it has a regular Thursday show. But getting back to the slides, our upgrades required. Will you be accounting for them in tuning? And I don't know. Who wants to read this one? Because this one just makes me laugh. And I don't even want to read it.
I got it. We are not accounting for the upgrades and tuning the current tier content. However, here's the legalese. The efficiency increase that upgrades provide are not meant to be infinite. So we'll keep an eye on them to assure they aren't removing absolutely every bit of the challenge. Targets should be still difficult, even for those who are maxed out on everything. This is all, of course, subject to change, but as the point of this feature is to trade additional build time for more efficient repair times beyond what we tune for, we are being mindful of that trade-off and setting our targets to non-upgraded hulls. As such, upgrades are not required.
Unless they decide that the upgrades are providing you to get through the targets easier, and then they blatantly right there saying at that point they will tune the targets towards the upgrade. Is that basically what they are saying right there?
Right.
If you break it down and cut through all the bullshit.
Yep.
Because it's almost like this reminds me of the Game of Thrones whenever Jon Snow said about how father always used to say everything before the word but is bullshit. Well, in this case, it's everything before the word however is bullshit. I think I just killed the rest of the panel with that statement.
No, this is one of the things we're going to have to see. I've got to see the targets and see if we can spot any real big differences. We could come back to this once we get somebody who has upgraded it all the way and see how much different it does between the upgraded fleets, the non-upgraded fleets. I just don't know at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, they've given themselves a way out right there, though, saying, but if we find out that the upgrades do make it to where you're taking not as much damage as we want you to, then we will tune the targets for the upgrades.
Yep.
Yeah, basically saying, well, if the mega coiners coin them and then they start doing the raid and they're doing them for absolutely free, yeah, they're getting fixed.
Yes.
Yep. So they're saying, well, we're not tuning them for the upgrades, but we probably will be tuning them for the upgrades. Is basically what this comes down to. So why this feature? Why now? As we continue down the path of 2 whole cycles, we wanted to provide a midway point between the efficiency of having just one fully built fleet to tackle both targets and the efficiency of having 2 fully built fleets to tackle both targets. All upgrades provide the midway point while remaining an optional path. Okay, let's take this all back to where at the very beginning it said it wouldn't matter which fleet you would choose because they would both work just as effectively. So why the hell do you need a midway point between having 1 fleet and having 2 fleets if you said they were both working just as effectively?
More to the point, why do I need anything else if we only have 3 months to build stuff? I don't need a midpoint. I don't need anything else in here. I'm already squeezed to the maximum.
Yeah.
Ross, Travis, you guys got anything on this one?
Yeah, I do. Oh, go ahead, Ross.
Well, I'm not even for the 3-month cycle, so to add something on top of that and shorten my cycle it's not the direction I want to go. It's opposite the direction I want to go. I want the build times to be shorter. I want the 3-month cycle to be increased. I want less to do. I want more PvP time and less chores. It's very clear. I'm very clear about what I wanted for a year, and those are the things, and they haven't changed. So I'm just ready for those things to be addressed instead of this.
Good point. Travis?
All right, for me, like in the skirmish cycle, I went with with the bat rays, and I basically didn't build the Occam's razor, and I only have 2 razor tails, so like I pretty much stuck with the one fleet through that whole cycle and throughout to this day. And with this cycle, see, I know people kind of rebelled against having to choose, so then they took that back away from us, and then like, all right, well, we'll give you the eradicators. And originally I kind of wanted the strikes because I thought it sounded cool, just the mechanic, because it was different. And now that I've been using the flag and base part targets, like the just the normal ones around the SSRB, and it's fun. And then I got to use it really for the first time today in the TLC, but at the same time the upgrades have dropped, so I'm taking away from time that I could be finishing out the other 4 that needs all specials, armor, and weapons. But I forgot, basically what I'm trying to say is I've had fun with the very, very limited amount of use I've had with the strike, and it's a shame to see that the build times are so long that we can't get it done, and so now we're forced to what they think is a midway point. Well, it's just, maybe it is a midway point, but at the same time, everything's so long that you've limited that one hull use to a ton of people. Only a select amount of people, or a tiny percentage, has got benefit and got use out of it. And it's a pretty cool hull, and it's a shame I'm not having the time to work on it. It's just a shame. But this is just another kind of roadblock to hold it up.
But I guess when you don't actually play the game with your own money in real time, you don't understand that.
Yeah.
And I know they like to say, well, the developers have their own bases that they play with their own money. Well, I'm sorry, but a base that's sat at level 78 for months on end does not count as playing the game with your own money on your own time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it just doesn't. So, CM Diary, a look ahead to March and beyond. Ross, you do the first page.
All right. Can do. We got it. It says, hello, Pirates. February has come to a close. It's time to start looking ahead into March, a month where we close the chapter on our game health rebalancing and start looking at the new PvP features, plus general quality of life improvements. March of Raid is upon Embers of Rage. The March raid is nearly access raid for the upcoming assault cycle. It begins March 13th at 3 p.m. PST time. It's a rolling start, just like all the others. The targets will be siege targets for this raid, and you can use your eradicators and strikes to earn enough points to unlock the 2 PvE hulls, the Saturn or the Nemesis X.
Does that make it sound to you like there'll be one path for the Saturn and the stuff, and its special and weapon, and one path for the Nemesis and its weapon and special? So will those be the locks now?
I would think so. I mean, yeah. So here we go on the Saturn. Well, the Saturn's a scattergun-based Forsaken hull, able to use a special aura called the Keel Hulling, which presents players with a challenge in playstyle. The Saturn has a standard scattergun range, but with Keel Hulling, a captain can close in extremely short range in order to debuff any nearby enemy structures. Corrosive resistance, opening the ability to dispatch the structure quickly. So the choice then is to destroy the buildings at the speed and retreat, and to continue kiting any ships that are attacking, versus killing the target more slowly while trying to manage ships that are attacking you while engaging the enemy turrets. This is definitely not an auto hull.
Well, I would say it's a much more auto hull than what the next one is.
No, I agree. No, you're right. So it just doesn't by their way they're making it sound, it doesn't sound auto.
Well,
but you know, but that type of weapon, it's the autoing type hull.
Depending on the target setup, if it like runs a certain kind of pattern or circle where it can get off to the side or off the shoot, you know, to get up close to get that extra damage, it may work as an auto hull.
And as a personal note, I am just sick of scattergun hulls.
Well, I just have to have a fleet.
Just burnt out.
I just have to have a fleet that works as an auto because the game playability is so poor.
Yeah, well, you know, it seems like they really don't like people autoing. Honestly, it really seems that way. It seems like they would rather, and I from a business perspective, I guess I can understand it, because they would rather you blitz than auto.
Right. Yeah.
But Travis, you want to do the Nemesis X?
Yeah, the Nemesis X is a missile-based Draconian hull, which capitalizes on cryo aura for hit and run tactics. The name of the game for the Nemesis X is Precision Strikes on highly on high priority targets before retreating into the shadowy clouds that are scattered throughout the target. The Nemesis X also has a mild cryo aura surrounding it, which helps it accomplish its hit and run goal by slowing down approaching enemy ships. So,
You had me at cryo aura.
yeah, so Frostburn. That's what I think.
Yes.
Yeah, but you kind of lost me, and I got to run in and out and in and out and in and out of clouds.
Yeah. It does look like it's from Cloud City on Star Wars and what.
Right, right.
Hmm.
But I mean, I guess basically what they're saying is there's shroud clouds throughout the target that we use to our benefit.
Which means the other ships could use them to their benefit as well.
Yeah, they could pop out on us.
That's actually a pretty interesting mechanic.
So we could all just sit in shroud clouds and not do anything for the entire battle.
And I shall taunt you a second time.
Exactly. But I don't know. Generally, I like missile hulls, but this one just sounds like it's going to be way too time-consuming and intense driving to be any fun.
Looks
I'll
nice,
have
though.
to see the stats first.
Love the graphics. Yes, I was going to say that. Do like the graphics.
Yeah, the graphics.
I want the flagship to be the Lando Nemesis or the Calrissian Nemesis.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I think there might be some copyright problems there.
You spell it there.
The Lando Lakes. The Lando Lakes Nemesis X. That would be funny. Anyway, but yeah, something tells me I'll probably be going more for the Saturn as opposed to the Nemesis. Because, I don't know, the Nemesis just sounds very time-consuming and driving intensive for me, anyway, to be much fun. But then again, that's just based off these brief descriptions that we have without seeing the stats or anything.
See, the old team missed the time of, missiles where, say, like with the MCX, you could do fleet versus fleet battles with, assault missiles. Of course, they're not going to do as much to structure or anything, but they were great for fleet versus fleet battles on the map and, prepping and stuff like that. And then you had your siege missiles that hit harder. It's a shame that all missile hulls that I've noticed since coming back, the Phoenix, the Manicore, and now this is all this. Like they got the whole kiting thing to the extreme. It's just not how we used to do it, and it's just not fun. It's like you used to be able to trade off or maybe have a mix of assault and siege, to cover both bases. But I probably shouldn't have said that. Now I have two fucking missiles, but but you know what I'm saying. It's just kiting now is just so labor intensive. It's just no room for error. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I'm at the point. Like I said, I'll probably go for the other hull over this one just because it's way too time consuming and way too driving intensive for me from the sounds of it. I'm just like I'm trying to kill shit. I'm not trying to play peekaboo, running in and out of clouds all the time.
Yeah, but the other one, you do have to dive in at the turrets to get that keel hauling ability going, which means eating every single thing the turrets can fling at you.
Yeah, but to me, the keel hauling ability, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know how necessary it's going to be to take use of that ability. You know what I mean? At this point,
True.
Because obviously we haven't seen the targets. But like, obviously, going in and out of the clouds and playing peekaboo is obviously going to be a huge mechanic for the Nemesis X.
And we know the lag.
I mean, the keel haul ability could kind of be like the speed up ability for the Razors. Oh yeah, it's cool and it works out well sometimes, but if you don't use it half the time that you're using the Razor tails,
True.
Because it's shooting off in direction that shoots forward, and then you're like, well, I'm not going that way anymore. I done turned. So whatever. And then for the PvP community, something that's also available is going to be the third T8 Conqueror called the Howler. The Howler is a straightforward hull, or so they think. Let's see about that when we get farther down the description. It has short-range weaponry, moves relatively slowly, and unleashes a relentless barrage of damage against enemy bases. To help it do this, the Howler has built-in aura that makes it nigh invulnerable, faster, and unable to shoot its weapons for a short period of time upon taking a certain amount of damage. This creates the main gameplay of the Howler, a timing and positioning battle between the pilot and the base.
So many questions. All right, we'll start with, anybody want to take a guess at what type of damage weapon is going to go on this?
I would guess radioactive from looking at it.
Throwers, you think?
That's what I would think. Basically, I would say this is a new version of the Rage.
Yes.
Is basically what I'm seeing.
Yep.
Next question.
Yep.
Nigh invulnerable. Now, I like that word invulnerable, but nigh means not invulnerable. So how will that work with things like building up stacks, auras, debuffs, all of those types of things? When it goes nigh invulnerable, can I still build up stacks for, say, a nuclear detonation? Can I still get my slow debuff on it?
Well, I don't.
That type of stuff.
How do you can't build stacks? You don't fire when you get this certain type of. You stop firing.
Well, I mean, it taking the stacks. Can I continue to build stacks on this ship when it's invulnerable? Can I continue to drop debuffs on it, like lowering its explosive deflection?
Well, technically, it's not invulnerable. Nigh just means nearly. So it's almost. So it's at 99% or whatever, you know. So it should take something, but with the stacks, that's a good point, man.
See? No questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to me, it seems very much like the Rage, though. The Rage, they just got done nerfing, because we can't have fun with that. Now we're going to come out with a new hull that's pretty fucking similar to it. It's kind of, that's what it seems to me. Off of this blurb. Nigh invulnerable? Oh, that's similar to Shroud.
Yep.
Yep.
Faster? Oh, well, didn't the Rage get faster when it got its Shroud thing going?
Yes. But the Rage fired.
Yeah, the Rage did fire. So it just says to me, this is a blitz to the back of the base thing. Just keep getting your 9 vulnerable stat after taking so much damage, blitz to the back of the base, and then just sit there at the OP and kill it.
Yep.
Hey, Cuddle, you're supposed to look at your PM.
I am.
Okay.
But the other thing is, we've all seen that basically it's a square base, a round base, with a one channel that goes straight up the middle, right at the OP, a nice short channel, has 2 breachers and a lurker at the end. Standard base 2, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I was designing a ship to kill that base, this would be that ship. Nice short channel, just activate it, run right up and blitz everything.
Yeah.
Rage 2.0.
Right. The one they just got rid of.
Yep.
Just got rid of.
Hey, we got a battle report and defense update. The greatly discussed battle report and defense update comes to Battle Pirates and our 9.12 release. Notice how they didn't say the much looked forward to. They just said the greatly discussed. It has a live date of March 19th. Continues to undergo a significant amount of iteration and play testing to ensure that changes we are seeing have the greatest positive impact with the most minimal amounts of disruption. Okay. Well, that's about all I can say to that. Still looking forward to the battle report. Still not looking forward to the defense update. Oh, who wants to talk about shipwrecks and introducing interceptors? Cuddle, that's a good one for you.
Oh boy. Okay, interceptors.
They're on the howler and talked about that instead of letting you.
Oh well. All right. The interceptor. We need. We have 3. This will be our 3rd category of Conqueror PvP ships. We have the Conquerors, the Defenders, and now the Interceptors. The defense upgrade concludes with the health updates for the time being, and turn our attention, as promised, instead to fun new features, all capitals. It is unlikely that these features will land in March, but it is much where the team's focus will be during the month, so it's worth sharing. The current big project in the planning stages stems from a long-standing community request to bring the much-needed rejuvenation of fleet-to-fleet combat. It has been a while since we've introduced a new gameplay mode, so design is killing it, with killing 2 birds with 1 stone and putting together a new gameplay feature called Shipwrecks, as well as a new PvP hull class called Interceptors. Next page.
Yeah, I'm there on the next page.
Oh, sorry.
Feel free. Keep going.
I know. Waiting for the page to catch up. Sorry.
Oh, you're watching on YouTube and not on the phone.
I am. What are shipwrecks? Shipwrecks are reminiscent of how the old resource mines used to work. These are targets that can appear on the world map at any time other advanced resource targets are available, or occasionally when an activity is running. Once a shipwreck appears, any player can claim it after defeating its guard fleet. Once claimed, the shipwrecks pay out advanced resources, uranium, titanium, base parts, and upgrade kits. Ooh, upgrade kits. Or activity points to the owner and or owner's alliance, a set number of times at regular intervals. The final payout is much larger than the preceding payouts. There are some nuances which they're working on that will set this apart from the old resource mines, but we can get into those closer to the launch of this feature. Players can steal shipwrecks from other players through fleet-to-fleet combat, which is where eventually we meet interceptors. What do you all think of these?
Unless there's going to be a plethora of them, it's something that's in the game for SDS7, BPL, SODP, and those types of alliances.
Seems awfully like it does seem a lot like a Golden Nexus, doesn't it? The same sort of mechanic.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. It's one of those. Here's something for you whales to make you happy, and and screw everybody else. We don't care what happens to them.
And I don't mind the uranium, titanium, or base parts, but upgrade kits. Ooh, and that gives it to the
during events. I will mind the uranium, the titanium, and base parts. Especially during like the 6 stations, you know.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. So pretty clear and easily to say that this is not something I ever asked for in my any time on my gameplay. So clearly never asked for anything in any direction of this way at all. So nope, no thank you.
I think I'm gonna go the other way. I kind of like it just because it takes me back to you know, the first days when I fucking hated mining. Don't get me wrong, but I loved attacking people, and I did go out and it helped me get through certain things. So it may be fun if the interceptor's repair time is in line with old school times, to where you could fix the fleet in no time, like, and not enough to be like griefing people like crazy, but enough to go out and have fun. So,
what was the repair on a mining fleet back then?
So like sea wolves, well, like, all right, it depended on your build, like, because a lot of people went with, you like, what was it?
Well, hang on. Before we get too much into this part of the aspect, why don't we actually talk about the interceptor, and then we can include that in the conversation about the interceptor.
Sounds good.
All right, so Travis, since you're gung-ho about this, you can talk about the interceptor.
Oh, thank God.
All right, let's see. Well, the little live features right over the first couple of words, but it says something are conquerors and there are defenders, both of which are designed with a focus on fleet versus fleet versus base PvP. But what about fleet versus fleet PvP? Filling this role will be the new Interceptor class. The aim of the Interceptor is to focus on combat mechanics and unique firing arcs that make them primarily versatile for attacking another player's fleet. An example would be one of the first batch of hulls, the Corsair. Is that right?
Yes, the Corsair, yes.
Yep.
The Corsair comes with built-in primary weapons that only fire on its port and starboard, meaning right out of the gate you can engage in the most classic pirate encounter of them all, an open water naval battle in which you trade broadside attacks with another ship, followed immediately by rum for the winner. The Corsair also comes with a heavy weapon slot that serves as a secondary weapon. These heavy weapon slots have shorter range than primaries, but do fire complete 360 arcs. So that says, your heavies are going to be directional, and then the short range will be 360. So heavy weapons for interceptors are not designed for any one specific interceptor. They are meant to be interchangeable based on how you want to play. Interceptors are not likely to launch at the same time as shipwrecks. Shipwrecks are more likely to release first, so everyone gets a chance to play and begin to understand the rules and tactics before claiming hulls can boost your efficiency and fun in shipwrecks. So,
okay, my first question is it just me, or does it seem like they get hung up on one mechanic sometimes and go whole hog into it? Like, everything now is about arcs. Everything has a firing arc now. Heavy turrets have a firing arc. The Basilisk has that built-in weapon firing arc. These guys are going to have built-in firing arcs. It seems like they just, like, when they get they're like a dog that gets a new bone, and when they get it, they just worry at it until it's, like, not fun anymore.
well,
But I don't know. Just every time they come up with a new mechanic that's kind of cool, they just seem to go crazy with it, go way overboard, in my opinion.
Can I go on the record and blame Toxic for this? Because he's always talking about mining.
Yeah, you can go on the record and blame him for this. That's fine. I don't know. What do you guys like overall? What do you think of the concept of it? Now you can get back into what you were talking about with the repair times and whatnot.
If repair time was decent, that's what kept it fun. And back in the day, it wasn't the mechanic of it. I mean, it takes the repair to be that to make it the fun. So if it's equal to that back then, heck yeah, I'm all for it. Matter of fact, I'll be participating in it. When I don't think I would be, and so they really have a chance here to bring me into this part of the game that I'm not really interested in. So hopefully they do something right.
Because back in the time when mining was around, we, depending on what was sitting on the mine, you could either take a battle barge or a sea wolf out there and not have more than like an hour and a half repair. You know what I'm saying? So you could get a lot of playtime in.
Perfect.
I do not understand the purpose of this hull, or what the difference it is between this hull and just a Conqueror hull, just a regular Conqueror hull.
I don't either.
No.
So if the only place that I'm going to be using this is inside shipwrecks, well, then this is is this a new generalist? Is this the new generalist hull?
It's a double.
And we're just gonna be using it until shipwrecks, fade out in a couple of months.
Well, but no, my understanding is this isn't the only place you'll be using it. You can also use it in regular fleet versus fleet battles on the map. Like, I'm assuming what I would think anyway, and I have no inside information on this, but I would assume if it's going to be a fleet versus fleet PvP fleet, you can also use this to hit basers, and it will, do well against regular conquerors, I would assume.
But sniping on the open map, is really difficult. We've, with the lag and all that, actually trying to actually connect on a baser.
But not
really
necessarily sniping. You can put these on your base to guard it.
true.
You follow me?
But I still don't see why I would use. I just don't see where this fits in. I understand at the moment we just have attack and defense ships. This feels like an attack ship. I really need to see a difference in the mechanic.
Yeah, I don't know why they had to come out with a whole new class. Why couldn't they just say, this is a Conqueror that's designed specifically for fleet versus fleet?
Right. Now, if there are some really different mechanics in it, and it does form a little, triangle, then great. Rock, paper, scissors thing.
And possibly it's not allowed to attack conquerors.
Well, that would just be silly. That would just be silly if they did that.
And if this is really good at killing Conqueror hulls, why wouldn't I put in my base guard?
Well, because it does say fleet versus fleet PvP. So that's, to me, says it's going to be just like, say, like a gluttony. A gluttony can hit your, a fleet outside its base. So this is just a new, probably more regulated class or something that they can.
Maybe when this comes out, that will be when they slide in the only defenders can be put in your base guard. Maybe that's when they'll slide that in at that point.
Will we also see a glut of interceptor-only weapons, specials, that type of stuff?
I don't know. That's all speculation.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it'll have its, specialties made just for it because.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's going to have heavy weapons that are made just for it. I think that's interesting, though, that the heavy weapons are going to be the ones that fire a 360.
What's the range? Because it does say shorter range. So
yeah, it does say shorter range. I just thought it was weird because, like, the heavy turrets are the ones that fire directionally, but now the heavy weapons are going to be the ones that fire 360.
So overall, like what I think, like in my head when I think about this mechanic, it would be fun because turn speed could come into play. Like, so the battle could be potentially more fun to where you could catch somebody in the wrong position where you could roll up and, catch them on your starboard side and just start pelting them off, right off, from the very side. So it could be cool for driving, I think. So
A ton of fun, actually, if you're thinking about it. But for versus another player, if the repair, but if we're talking like 6 to 8 hours damage over resources, we're thinking 2 thumbs down, right? I mean, seriously, if I pick up 6 to 8 hours damage over some new interceptor hull over resources, I don't want that added to my game. I don't need.
I would imagine the repair time is going to be looking real similar to what Conquerors are, though.
See, that's what I'm saying, and I just don't need added repair in my game. I don't see where I'm going to fit that in.
So to me, to me, it kind of seems like in line for the people who used to snipe a lot, so they needed something back in the game for those type of players, because it really pissed a few of them off, so. But it was over the top, and even I'm surely some of them got to admit, some of the stuff they were doing was bad, for the community. But if this brings it back in line, then and gets that type of player something to do that doesn't cost me way too much, or I don't want to be caught like coming out of a base by just this one. I think it should be restricted to if you're on the shipwreck or something. There's already gluttonies or other holes for that, or they may not be so bad to fight, so it may not be a problem. But I just want everything to be in line, I hope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just sounds to me like it's just a Conqueror hull that's specifically designed for fleet versus fleet.
Yeah.
Yep. Need to see something different to differentiate the classes.
I just hope it's not a sub because it needs to be able. You need to see it coming. I mean,
Yeah, well, I doubt it was. Corsair is just like another word for pirate, basically. And I don't know too many pirates who like rode around in subs.
yeah, very true.
Oh, and then inventory management. I'm sure this will make Hefe happy. Last, also in the planning stages, we've been collecting lots of player feedback over the last few months while the team's been hard at work on health improvements. What small quality of what small quality of life changes can be made to make your lives easier. The first feature we've decided to set our sights on is inventory management. This includes more granular sorting, more tabs, and maybe even additional search functionality. We plan on carving out time for this type of improvement as we move into April and beyond.
This cannot get here soon enough, and is so desperately needed in this game.
Yes.
Let's just hope they do a good job with this, because
I really, really want to see them add a favorite section in there too. You know, like shit I use all the time on builds. I can just put in like my first 10 slots or whatever.
That's a great idea. Great idea.
fix our tokens, fix our arm. Yes. Inventory management is so bad in this game.
Yeah. I want to see a trade-in for old tokens too that I have that I'm never ever going to use.
Yeah.
You know, like my 66 days of survivor tokens that I'm never going to do a thing with. Let me trade them in. Even like a three for one deal. Here, I'll trade 3 of these 1 days in for a 1 day of something else. Or shit, at this point, even a 6 for 1 trade in.
Yeah. See, I wish we had a black market where or some kind of commerce thing to where we could trade, have a trading system with other players, and maybe with certain items.
A badge when you hit 99 tokens in any hull.
Yeah.
I'd have quite a few badges.
Yep.
I just always like games where you could trade stuff. It just brought a really cool aspect. Like, even like console games like Fable and stuff, it's really big open world games, but you had elements that you could trade with other players, and it made it neat,
But yeah, he just closes up by saying that's overview of what's going on. And hey, thanks as always. Thanks for playing Battle Pirates.
I actually liked that. I know it's a crazy little thing, but I don't see that often. That I just don't get thanked for being a customer very often by this company, and I liked that. That's why I did like it. It's just a little thing, doesn't mean shit really, but I like it. Thank you.
I always looking for something positive to say.
I would like to say the Eruption Pyre fix was supposed to hit under 910, but apparently that's been pushed back. So that's still broken.
The priority targeting is still broken from what I hear too.
So let me ask you something, Cuttlefish. I know that you had the Thunder Mortars in at one time, or maybe still.
Oh yeah.
Do you? I don't know if you have the overload mechanism, but I noticed when I stick it in range, it doesn't show up that it's buffing my Thunderlord mortar. Like, I just didn't know if it didn't work on heavy turrets or.
I don't know if the overload works on the Thunderlord mortar. Mine are separated. I believe it works on the heavy turrets, at least on the missile one.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it works on the mortar one. Mine are too far away.
Yeah, I spent like
and they're
30
fantastic.
30 minutes redesigning my base to make it kind of fit around back through there to where I could make a little little room around the edges and then get it in range, and then it didn't show up. I was like, oh man, really? It's not on the stats. So maybe it's just a visual bug that's being
It's
not
it's
Yeah, I
noticed.
mean,
tricky. It's tricky to get the overloaded reload mechanism because it's a very tight circle. Like if you made a perfect ring of turrets all the way around your OP, not all of them would have it. The ones in the corners would not have the overloaded reload mechanism.
That's probably my problem. It's at the corner, so I might need to shuffle it. So.
well, that kind of leads into what they're talking about in chat too. It would be nice to just see them like take 2 months and fix shit instead of forcing new shit out down our throats all the time. Fix the fucking game. Fix the shit that's broken. That's what we meant when, that's what we meant when we said fix the game. We didn't mean come in and change the entire fucking game. We meant come in and fix all the shit that's broken and just plain doesn't work.
I agree.
I mean, it's getting to the point in time. I don't know what to put on my shit, not because I don't know what works, what should be on it. It's because I don't know what works. That is the way it's supposed to put on it.
More like what works and will come off the fastest because you're going to change it.
I know it's gotten to the point. It's ridiculous, dude.
This day and a
I'd
half.
love to put this on my boat, but it doesn't work. Or I'd love to put this on my turret, but it doesn't work.
These day and a half armor plates need to go away. That is just outrageously long.
It is. Especially if you're trying to do 2 fleets now, like I was attempting to do. So, I mean, that's 8 pieces of armor there. So,
Yeah, I thought it was funny, like when I saw they were having problems with the breacher upgrade stuff, but they had already put out the eradicator upgrade stuff. It's like, way to make sure that it actually worked before you release the second part of it, guys.
quality assurance is, starts at alpha and ends in gamma. For real. We're more of I think, I know they probably find a lot of stuff in-house, but I mean, just look at the amount of stuff players find every week. Every week.
Yeah, and if you were out and if you were in the game playing it, it would be very obvious to you. But let alone being in the game playing it on the live server. I know Dynamite wants us to talk about them pulling targets all the time, like the titanium targets and uranium targets and base parts. Every raid, every bounty, pretty much every event. It's like they're gone. So that's like half of the month. Well, not quite half of the month, but like a third of the month, we don't have those targets that keep people from being able to progress. And I agree, that's kind of crappy.
It is kind of crappy, and during the raid, I don't know, put them in the tower or something. So if people want to do the targets, they can do the targets from there. But getting rid of the targets on the map, they say, reduces lag.
I haven't found that to be the case.
I haven't found that to be the case either, but that's what they say.
One thing I did notice, and I don't know if anybody else caught on to this, like bounties definitely seems to be the worst for raid or for lag. Would everybody else agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that in bounty they don't limit your friends list like they do in raids? I wonder if that's why it lags so bad in bounty.
I remember that's one, the reason that they did limit them in the beginning. So that could be possible. But, they never do pull salvages. There's a lot of salvages on the map, and that's the one thing that does never get pulled during any kind of event. So,
Pull my gantry. Pull my gantry.
yeah.
Well, yeah, leave the premium resources targets on the map and pull the salvages.
Which it was nice to be able to get. They did leave the 80, the glowing knives, so I was able to get titanium that way. And then I got my uranium from the SSRBs and my base parts from the SSRB with my eradicators during bounty. So for the people that had the top end fleets, we were golden. You know, you could get what you needed. But the other players, you know, there's nothing for them.
Well, at least uranium, everybody should have been able to get as long as they got the free battery fleet.
Oh, yeah, true. True. So.
And yeah, Carl just brought up a good point too. Like, since the map is the map server and the battle server are two different things, removing map clutter really shouldn't affect battle servers at all. I wouldn't think, unless they change that. Because I know at one point in time, the world map server, your base server, and the battle server were three entirely different things. Now it is quite possible that, and when they did sector reconsolidation and shit, maybe they changed it and it's all actually using the same server at this point. I don't know. But you can't get rid of my gantry. I park my Hyperion in it. I like literally do. I'm probably one of the only person that sometimes I actually like get it all lined up nice and neat in there so it looks like it's sitting in his little garage.
RB posted a picture on the page of, you know, his gantry complete, and again I was like, dude, you just got the upgrade kits, huh? You know, or something like that.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that bug when I would go. Every time I would go in my base, it was that pop up would come up, or else I would look at a friend's on my friend's list. I'd look at their base and then always pop up gantry is completed. I'm like, oh god. Well, I don't know. All right, you guys got anything else? We're like the hour and 40-minute mark almost. So, if you got any last thoughts, now's the time to put them out there.
No, sir. We got some nice graphics coming out, and that's the truth. Some of the new all graphics are nice. So, I'd like to end on some positive note, you know.
On a positive note, this is the first weekend we have had off in Battle Pirates in the last 3 months, I believe. Is that about right?
No, don't say anything. There's still a day for them to decide to put something out. Just shut your mouth.
Fair enough.
Now they've heard that. Tomorrow there'll be an announcement. Well, now we're going to have a bonus VXP event weekend thing. Blah, 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 blah.
Russ set me up asking for positive things.
There you go.
Well, I know what I'm going to do. Like, if I can get some more of the, I'm going to be able to do at least a couple more of the Eradicator of the No Survivor. And then, now that people's had a chance to get base parts and put some of the new turrets in, I'm, you know, fairly okay with FM. You know, I'm just going to get a couple things this week. So, I'm just going to test my ships on complete basis with new turrets, because I know this weekend I'll actually have time to fix them, and that's appreciated actually.
Yeah, we won't see Travis this weekend at all. He'll be out fishing.
Exactly. Actually, I'm climbing a mountain to go to a lake. It's been closed for over a year because the road to the mountain slid out, so no one's been back, and it's opening in a month, and I'm going to take video tomorrow.
There you go.
You may not see me again. There's a lot of fucking bears up there.
At least I won't hear we timed going back to the dock late, or we timed going back to the dock pad, so I'm not going to be there for the Saturday show.
Shit, I think I texted Ross. What was it, like 10:20. I was like, finally made it off the water. We had one flashlight. It was a bad move.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't really have much to say. I've been playing a whole lot of Assassin's Creed this week. I haven't really been on the game a whole lot. So, I don't know. That's all I can have to say, really. just not happy with the direction that we're going.
Well,
I know coming up here soon, I'm going to be taking a hiatus from the show anyway. I know Ross is going to be taking over as main presenter, and Cuttlefish is going to kind of be coming in and picking up a little bit of the slack while I'm gone. So
I'll try not to fish as much.
that'll be coming up here in probably a couple weeks, or anyway, I'll keep you guys posted on that. But anyway, until then, we'll talk to you Saturday, and have fun out there. Have fun doing your TLCs if you're capable of doing them, and just keep on keeping on, and hope that never mind. I'm not going to say that. Okay, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a good one.